Hey everybody. So you want to know more about GMOs, or genetically modified organisms. Well, the fact is, here on our video and in this channel, we're mostly worried about genetically engineered seeds. There are a lot of genetically modified organisms that aren't related to trying to grow crop in the field. But when we're looking in seed catalogs, that's what we still see is the GMO, so that's what we're going to talk about. GMOs are engineered seeds that are developed for the purpose of giving a specific trait or traits to a crop. Now that trait may be that it is resistant to a particular disease, or that it is poisonous or resistant to a certain type of insect, or that it is resilient against herbicide. Now the concern most people have about GMOs is how they are engineered. What essentially they are doing is taking a part of DNA out of another organism, typically a bacteria or a virus or an animal, and injecting that into the DNA of a seed. You can't help but think it sounds an awful lot like Jurassic Park. They do this to give the seed those specific traits. But the catch is, it's not natural. It's not something Mother Nature would do. And because of that, there's a lot of question in many people's minds on exactly what does that mean is going to happen inside of our bodies when we consume these different crops. Now that's not a very in-depth description on what GMOs really are or what genetically engineered seeds are. So you do need to do your own research and get down into the facts a little bit more. But let's talk about it. The big problem, the real concern people have about genetically engineered seeds or GMOs is that we just don't know. There hasn't been enough study. When we talk about heirloom seeds that have been around 50 or more years, or open pollinated plants that we can plant and replant, there's a history behind it. We know the effects of eating a particular plant. We know the nutritional benefits of it. We know how it interacts with the human body. But genetically modified seeds have not been around too long, and there's a lot of concern about whether or not it has an effect. Now you will find studies that say both ways, that there's no effect whatsoever, all it is a benefit, we're going to save the world, and we should move forward. And you'll find the studies that say that it causes cancer and can lead to death. So it's up to you on what you really want to do. But right now, it's time to buy seeds in the Northern Hemisphere, and you might simply just want to know, how hard is it to get a hold of GMO seeds? Do you have a risk of purchasing them on accident? So while I'm going to leave it up to you to go and research all of the facts behind GMOs, I would like to at least address a few of the myths or misnomers that I keep hearing season after season. You do not have to be a large industrial farmer to be able to procure GMO seed, nor do you have to sign a contract. Folks, all I can say is stop reading what you see on the internet and try to buy some. It's not that hard. It's difficult to accidentally buy it because it's not what's readily offered to you. If you go to the store and you're looking to buy corn, most times, 9 times out of 10, I would say that your backyard grower's looking for sweet corn. And what you're going to find that's going to be Roundup ready or any other sort of GE seed is field corn. In other words, it's the corn that's used to go into making flour, animal feeds, and the like. This is directly off of Monsanto's website, who's probably the best known genetically engineered seed company. Their agricultural seeds are alfalfa, canola, corn, cotton, sorghum, soybeans, sugar beets, and wheat. So, even inside of those, there's the further breakdown, like with corn, whether it's field or sweet and so forth. Folks, it's possible to buy it, but I still stand by my statement that it is difficult for you to accidentally buy it. Take case in point. I went down to my local farm co-op and asked them in a couple months what kind of corn seeds are they going to have available for planting. And they said, oh, well, you know, just the sweet corn and the this corn and the that corn. They didn't know the details behind it. And I kept asking questions. I said, well, what about that corn that is resistant to the earworms? Do y'all have any of that engineered seed? Oh, no, we ain't got none of that. Well, what about the stuff you can spray? Do you have any of that? Well, yeah, sometimes we carry some of that. Folks, not even your desk clerk at the seed store may understand if you walk up and ask whether or not the seed is genetically engineered. It's just too much information. If you ask them, is this something I can spray Roundup on? They might know whether or not it's a Roundup ready crop, but they're probably not going to be detailed enough to understand genetically engineered. So don't think that you're going to find it sitting on the shelves at your big garden center. You're probably going to find it at your farm co-op or at specific seed supply companies. And when you do find it, most of the time it's back in the warehouse in big 50-pound bags. If you buy it smaller than that, you're going to have to ask for it. You're going to have to ask for what variety you want and specify, I'm trying to buy the Roundup Ready field corn, do y'all have some? You're not going to walk out with a seed packet to put in your square foot garden and accidentally have GMO seed. And when you do try to purchase the GM seed, they are not going to make you sign a contract. Folks, I called a seed company who's listed on Monsanto's website, contacted their local representative for my area, and asked him, can I get a hold of just a pound of seed to grow in my backyard? I'm not a big ag farmer. Do you know what he told me? He said, call me back in April when everybody's planting, and I'll probably have some leftover scrap out of a bag, and I'll just get up with you and get you some. That doesn't sound like a company who's worried about whether or not I sign everything. The worry comes in with the fact that the genetically engineered seeds can cross-pollinate with other seeds and can continue that trait onto other plants, and that is not a desirable thing. I'll come back to you in another video and explain to you my 2 cents on everything, and hope that I've left this video at least neutral enough to encourage you to go find out your own information, and you can come back and see how I feel about the whole situation next time. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you then.